Okay, so I'm making this video. I'm currently studying for a CAS exam 5, which is the rate making exam, and I just want to put out a couple of these videos just going over these problems because it actually helps me, and maybe it'll help some other people as well. It helps me to teach because we're all learning this on our own. This is pretty much the biggest independent study class in the world, and so personally, like I said, if I can teach it to an audience in the video, then it's a pretty good indication that I'm confident in my abilities and I should be able to perform on the exam. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. This is CAS exam 5 from the fall 2017 sitting, and this is the first question. So if you want to look at this question in more detail, you can just go to the CAS website and look at the fall 2017 exam, and it's right there. So we have a spreadsheet here, and also I'm going to be using Excel. I don't have Excel on this computer, but I'm actually going to be using Google Spreadsheets, which is the same thing. It's nothing complicated. We can use Excel for the first time. We'll see how that goes for this particular exam. Anyway, for this question, we're looking at the two-step trending method as we relate the as we try to see what, looking at its historical data, trying to see what we can actually gather as we move forward, trying to get a solution here. So anyway, all that to say this, we have this this table, and we have this trend. Now it says the annual trend is -2%. We're going to deal with that in a minute. The fourth quarter 2016 earned premium is 236. The average written premium is 242. Calendar year, annual rates are in effect for the full year. The rate of revision is January 2018. All right, so the way I want to approach this, I already have this made up in Excel. These numbers come straight from the question, and I put this column here just because I want to make sure that you guys understand exactly how I'm going to relate to them, because I'm going to use them as formula references going forward. Before we do any of that, though, I want to make sure that I drive home the point of the dates. So looking at this, we have the earned premium and we have the written premium. I'll just explain it very, very quickly. If you have a policy, you write it at the beginning, and at the end of that period, you earn it. So the good example is, let's say I write an auto insurance policy January 1st. Well, that's the written date. And then if it's a 6-month policy, then come July 1st, July 1st of that year, then that'll be the earned. That'll be when the premium is actually earned. So for this problem, it's going to be relevant. So let me go ahead and establish this. The question says the rate revision is January 1 of 2018. But it says the fourth quarter 2016 earned premium level is 236. So the key word here is average. For the fourth quarter of 2016, average. So looking at the quarter, the fourth quarter is going to be October, November, December. That's 3 months. And then the middle date of that time period is going to be November 15th. So the average fourth quarter date that we're going to reference is going to be November 15th of 2016. And I'm going to enter that twice, and you'll see why in a minute, because I'm going to use these as cell references, like I said. So there are two methods that we can use. We can use the earned premium as a reference, or we can use the written premium as a reference. We're going to go ahead and do it both ways, just so you can see. Go ahead and do the earned reference first. All right, so the way that we do this, we need to determine what is the average, or what's the average date for when that premium is actually earned. So again, we're looking at January 1 of 2018. That's the year that we're looking, that's in the problem, right? January 1, 2018. And then what we're looking for is the average time period that that premium is going to be earned. So let me just go ahead and tell you the answer, and then I'll explain why, if it's not obvious. All right, the answer is going to be January 1 of 2019, because again, at the end of that term, that's when the policy premiums are actually going to be earned. Looking at written, I probably should use this as the example first. When of the average policy is going to be written? Well, if we're looking at annual policies, and we're looking at the entire year of the entire year of 2018, because remember, that's the subject year, and we're looking at averages. the average premium is going to be written on July 1st of 2018. How do you get to July 1st? Well, if this is the policy year, you got to think of it. Some people will come in January, some people will come in March, some people will come in November, some people will come in December, whatever. The average overall, though, premium is going to be written on July 1st of 2018, which is directly in the middle of that year. All right? And the earned premium is going to be 6 months after that, because you have to take that time period, because that's the average. If the average premium is going to be written July 1st, well, then the average premium is going to be earned 6 months later, which is half a year later, which is going to be January 1st, 2019. I hope that makes sense. All right. So here, what we're going to need to do, I'll do that later. But we're going to need to actually create a reference, because this is the two-step trending method. We need to have an actual, we're trying to create a factor, which is this column right here. And what we need to do is we need to take, because first we're going to do the earned premium. And I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, just go right into this and say I'm going to create a cell, a formula rather. And I'm going to say it's equal to 236. I'm going to lock that cell because I'm going to drag it in a second. But I'm going to divide it by the earned premium of 2014, 15, and 16. All right? I'm going to drag this down. Okay? Now, for the second step, what we need to do is this. Go back to the problem, and it says that we have an annual premium trend of negative 2%. So just to be really, really technical, all we're doing is we're saying, all right, there's a 2% decrease. We need to apply that rate change over the time period and, bring these factors forward by that particular rate, and then we're going to apply that to the 2018 policy year that we're looking at. So in this case, just to be really, really technical, so you see exactly where I'm getting these numbers from, I'm going to say, do a bracket, 1, which stands for 100%, minus 0.02, which is 2%, right? That's the 2% reduction. Then we need to bring it forward by an appropriate date. So I'm going to leave that as an incomplete formula just for the moment. Ignore that 0.98. I'm going to actually need to find a prorated amount or prorated factor to serve as the exponent. So in this case, what I'd like to do is I want to get the difference between these two dates. Okay? And I want to get the difference between these two dates as well. So just looking at this, there's 777 days apparently between January 15th, 2016 and January 1st of 2019. And 593 days between November 15th and July 1st of 2018. All right, so this is what we need to actually do. Again, we're focusing on the earned premium year, so we're looking at this cell. Going back to our formula, I'm going to actually raise this to 777, or in this case, cell B11. And I'm going to divide it by 365 so that we get years, the number in years. All right? And we get 0.9579. That factor is actually going to be true for all of these time periods. And that's the factor. I'm sorry, that's the rate component. This is the first step, this is the second step. And then the factor is simply going to be this number times this number. And we drag that down. And we're all done. So this number, or these three numbers right here, represent the answer to part one of this particular question, which is calculate the premium trend for each year using the two-step trending. All right? So, and that matches what I'm looking at, 962, right? Yeah, that's right. All right. So this is one method, and I'm going to, and this would be a perfectly good answer as far as I'm aware. This would be a great answer, but we could have done it the other way, which would be using the written as a frame of reference. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that again real quick. We have 11/15/2016, and we have what was it? July for earned is the end, so 1/1/2019. And this is 7/1/2018, and then this is going to be this minus this, drag this over, and then this is going to be, all right, so this is the difference. On the previous worksheet, we used 236 as a reference. Now we're looking at it from the written perspective. So you might ask yourself, why would you choose the earned premium as a reference versus the written premium as a reference? Well, the answer that I saw demonstrated that you might choose the earned because it's the more recent, because the earned premium is going to be closer to the date of comparison than the written premium, because again, the written is at the beginning and the earned is at the end. So that's one element. But to be honest with you, because both of these answers work, I'm not sure. It's really just about being consistent. So in this case, we're going to have 242. We're going to lock this cell. This is C6. We're going to divide by, in this case, we're still going to do the earned premium comparison though. We're not doing the 212, 224, and 240. We're still doing the earned premium comparison. And I made a mistake doing that the first time, so make sure that you guys don't make a similar mistake with that. All right? Now this is going to be a little different. This, as you can guess, this is going to be your 100% minus the 0.2% again, or 0.98. And then you're going to raise it to, this time it's going to be 593, lock that cell, and then divide that by 365, because this is the time period that we're comparing. We're comparing the written portion now, all right? So this is going to be the interest component, which is the second step of the trending element, and then here we're going to have another factor, and it's just going to be simply this times this, and we drag that down, and these three numbers here, the 1.152, 1.06, whatever. This would be the answer, the three answers to the question if you were to do the written premium comparison. But like I said, either of these answers, these in the factor column, should be acceptable for the full point on the actual exam. The second portion of this question just says, identify two scenarios that could lead to a negative premium trend when analyzing average premium at current rate level. So this really isn't directly related to the numbers here, but I think it's just testing whether or not you understand pretty much what you're doing. And it's just asking you, hey, give me a couple of scenarios where there might be, or that would account for a negative premium trend. So an improper answer would be like competition from another insurer or anything like that. A proper answer would be pretty much anything that would account for a rate decrease. So let's say that you as the insurer, you are, for whatever reason, you decide to write premiums for lower valued assets. So, let's say that you are writing homeowners insurance policies in Manhattan, but then you decide to leave Manhattan, at least for writing new policies. In 2014, 2015, you decide to go to, Detroit. So you're going to have a reduction in the premium trend simply because you're writing insurance for less valuable assets. That would be one example. And pretty much, you can be creative. Any example that you would give for an insurer to have a negative premium rate, or premium trend rather. And again, the premium is simply a relation to it's a reference to what the value of the product that you're offering. So anyway, I hope this is very clear. It certainly was a lot more clear to me than now that I've explained it aloud. And again, I'm making these videos not just for you guys to look and maybe gain a few pointers and insights, but also for me, because I figure if I can explain it, then clearly if I saw this exact problem again, I would do it like that. So alright, so that's it for this video, and I want to wish you guys the best of luck. Forgive my outfit too, I'm wearing a hoodie. It's like 5 in the morning literally. But anyway, talk to you guys later.